You can imagine when you're taught the biases of expectations that if you have a disability, you should be pitied, because you really can't participate, you really can't do a lot in life. Nowhere in the definition of an athlete does it say that you have to use your legs in order to be one. I can't imagine ever trading that life for the use of my legs. The biggest challenge for me dealing with my disability was to challenge my mental perspective and reshape my attitude from negativity, from pity to possibility.
Coming back from an epic fishing trip out in the Bellacoola Valley, and we got a ride in the back of a pickup truck with somebody who went around a corner and they lost control and the truck rolled, broke my back. The pathway to my rehabilitation was to realize I was still the same person, I still love the same things, I had to do it a little differently. And fishing was just like an eye-opening experience, and it was like I was alive and whole. And that experience really inspired me in the rest of my life.
I've known Rick since 1999 and we've been pretty close friends since. We have to keep removing barriers and we have to work towards making it so everybody can get out and enjoy what we have in British Columbia.
I was connected to sturgeon growing up on the banks of the Fraser River. We were always looking for new places to fish trout, and then all of a sudden this monster sturgeon jumped in front of me and I couldn't believe what it was. We started the conservation program. Oh, I got a bite, sorry. Here's one. You know, 90% of the fish are lost in the last 10% of the battle.
That was an awesome battle.
Yeah, fisherman won, sturgeon won.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that was awesome. What a great encounter.
Having a chance to get back to fishing for me was a lifesaver. How important it is to do our best to ensure that the outdoors is accessible and inclusive for everyone.
They're introducing great opportunities for, lakes all over British Columbia, and then also, working with lots of really cool things on accessibility, which is kind of some of the new areas that we're really thrilled about.
When it comes to accessibility, we are putting in a lot of effort in making as many places as we can accessible, because that just benefits everybody, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of young people who still come out here and they still fish and enjoy this lake, and spend a lot of time with my brother and my friends, neighbors, and yeah, great memories.
When I was in the rehabilitation center, I was already trying to repopulate new ideas or old dreams into new dreams, and one of the old dreams was to bicycle around the world. It wasn't until I became a Paralympic athlete and a gold medalist that I physically realized that maybe that dream was possible. So I decided to put that all together and embark on my grand journey of wheeling 40,000 kilometers around the world through 34 countries and 4 continents, and we raised $26 million to a legacy that formed our foundation and has been continuing ever since. So, you know, when we left on the Man in Motion World Tour, there were lots of things I was going to miss. Fishing was going to be a tough one. So we just snuck a couple of fishing rods into the back of the motorhome just in case. It had been a grind, wheeling 113 kilometers a day, and I was grumpy and looked over and I kept seeing these fish down in the water with each bridge, and then finally I decided, hey, we're going fishing. You can still find adventure and still do a little fishing and then find humor in the things that typically don't work out when you're fishing, like you lose a fish in the last moment.
This is the Fisherman's Wharf, it's the birthplace of the British Columbia salmon fishing industry, and it's got a long history. And now it's a tourism destination site as well, and it's really nice and accessible. It's a great place to be able to access the water and get back out and do some fishing and some work on sturgeon conservation.
We have an experience program where we bring people with disabilities out onto the water so they can get a chance to fish either for the first time or for the first time since they've had their injury or their accident. The first thing you see in people in the conversation is a sense of hope. And they feel part of something. They feel connected and they have meaning and purpose.
Here he comes, gonna jump.
So we decided to form a Fraser River Sturgeon Conservation Society, and have the first priority is to assess the population and its health. We have one of the best population assessment models in the world, and its projections for the future are really concerning unless we do something. We've got a nice sturgeon in great shape, never tagged before, so it's nice to get a tag in this fish, and so it's part of the data population. And to know too that every time we contact a fish, we're there trying to learn more about it and ultimately to pay it forward so that they're healthy and sustainable for the future.
You know, who would have imagined when I was laying in that hospital bed being told I'd never walk again, that many years later I'd be married, I'd have 3 amazing daughters, Emma, Lana, and Rebecca, and be a father to their journey and to give love and receive it, and to spend time out in the water with them just as I had with my father. And now, of course, I've had a chance to be able to introduce it to my grandson Everett, and not only was he able to catch the fish, but he understood the idea and the notion of conservation and protection of our ecosystem and making sure that we care as much as we take. Nothing is better than that.